The galaxy was quiet, too quiet. In the darkness between stars, the Empire's fleets moved with their usual confidence, scanning for threats and hunting for new worlds to conquer. But on the edge of the Orion sector, something unusual caught the attention of a young Empire scout ship. It was faint at first, a tiny blip, barely noticeable against the black void of space. The sensors picked up a massive object moving stealthily, leaving Earth's orbit. At first, the Empire assumed it was a routine cargo ship or some minor outpost. They had faced humans before. Humans were primitive, backward, and weak. No one in the Empire had reason to fear them. Captain Lorene frowned at the readings. "This doesn't make sense," she muttered. "It's too large to be a scout, yet too quiet to be a warship. Where's the power signature coming from?" Her crew scanned the area again and again, but nothing matched the readings. The ship was enormous, far bigger than any human craft known to the Empire, yet it remained almost invisible to their sensors. The young scout sent a message back to the Empire High Command. "Unidentified vessel detected. It is leaving Earth's orbit. It is unlike anything we've seen before." High Command officers in the Central Command room laughed. "Humans? Please. They have nothing we cannot destroy. Send a few frigates. Capture it. Study it. There is no need to panic." But Captain Lorene did not feel reassured. Something about the readings made her uneasy. The object moved with precision and speed far beyond what a human ship could achieve. It seemed intelligent, calculated, almost as if it knew they were watching. Meanwhile, deep below Earth's surface, hidden beneath layers of rock and high-tech concealment fields, the Supercarrier waited. It was massive, far larger than any ship the galaxy had ever seen. Its hull gleamed with an almost living shine, and its systems hummed with energy. For decades, it had been hidden, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. And now it had begun to move. The crew aboard the Supercarrier was calm. Humans moved like shadows, operating the vessel with precision and discipline. They knew the Empire was watching, but they were not afraid. They had studied the Empire for years, learning their tactics, weaknesses, and arrogance. And now, it was time for the first move. Back in the Empire fleet, the chase had begun. Lorene ordered her ships to follow, keeping their distance. "We must not lose sight of it. It is unusual. We need answers." The fleet moved with careful coordination, but the Supercarrier seemed to anticipate every move. It used hidden warp lanes, invisible to the Empire sensors. Every time the fleet thought they were gaining, the ship vanished, only to appear kilometers ahead in a different trajectory. "Captain, it's gone again," a young officer said nervously. "It's disappearing. How is this possible?" Lorene tightened her grip on the console. "No human technology can do this," she whispered. "Something is very wrong." In the dark expanse of space, the Supercarrier continued its journey. Sensors inside the ship picked up the approaching Empire fleet, but the humans were calm. They activated cloaking fields and decoy drones, making the fleet chase shadows instead of reality. Empire officers began to grow frustrated. "Send more ships. Surround it. Do not let it escape." But every maneuver failed. The humans were always one step ahead. The fleet, proud and confident, began to suffer losses, not from weapons but from disorientation. Their scanners became unreliable. Navigation systems failed. Some ships reported strange gravitational anomalies, making them spin uncontrollably. Others went silent, disappearing without a trace. Captain Lorene tried to maintain control. "Hold formation. Do not panic. We will not lose sight of it." But panic was spreading. The crew whispered among themselves, fearing the unseen forces at play. Something about the human Supercarrier was different. It was not just technology. It was cunning. On board the Supercarrier, the human captain, Commander Riker, watched the Empire fleet through advanced sensor arrays. His eyes were calm, almost bored, as if he were watching a simple game. "They think they are chasing us," he said softly, "but they do not even understand what we are capable of." The humans activated another layer of defenses. Invisible energy fields surrounded the fleet, distorting sensors, creating false readings, and projecting holographic duplicates of the ship. The Empire fleet could not tell which one was real. Every time they fired, they hit illusions. Every attempt to flank was anticipated. Back on the Empire flagship, Lorene's frustration boiled over. Deploy everything. Fire at will. We will not be outsmarted by humans. But it was already too late. One by one, small Empire frigates started to vanish. The fleet realized that this was no ordinary ship. They were being led into a trap, a web of stealth and cunning beyond their comprehension. In the distance, the Supercarrier seemed to slow down, allowing the Empire ships to catch up. But as they approached, the humans activated a sudden pulse, a wave of energy that disabled sensors and engines alike. Ships spun helplessly, drifting into darkness. Lorene's console went dark. Alarm screamed. Report. What's happening? She shouted, but no one could answer. The fleet commander's heart pounded. It's impossible. Human technology cannot do this. We should have destroyed them years ago. Why are we failing? On Earth, Riker allowed himself a small smile. The galaxy underestimates humans. That is their greatest weakness, and it will be their downfall. Suddenly, a section of the Empire fleet entered a dense nebula. Visibility dropped. Sensors went haywire, and one by one, ships lost communication. Some reported seeing strange lights. Some reported hearing sound that had no source. Panic erupted. Captain, what is happening? The ships, they are disappearing. Lorene's hands shook on the console. Stay calm. Stay calm. We must regroup. But deep inside, she knew they were not regrouping. They were being hunted. The humans were not just defending. They were testing, observing, and controlling the battlefield with precision. Minutes felt like hours as the remaining ships tried to escape the traps. One frigate attempted a risky maneuver, jumping ahead, but emerged in empty space, alone, with no sign of the rest of the fleet. Communication attempts went unanswered. Lorene stared at the viewports, her confidence shattered. This cannot be human technology. It's too advanced, too clever. On the Supercarrier, Riker leaned back in his chair. Let them think they are chasing us. Let them think they have control. They have no idea what awaits them. He activated the ship's stealth drive, allowing it to slip further into uncharted regions of space. The remaining Empire fleet could see nothing, detect nothing, and follow nothing. The humans had become ghosts, moving silently, unseen, and untouchable. Back in the Empire command room, alarms blared. Officers argued, shouted, and panicked. We cannot lose sight of it. They cannot just disappear. But disappear they did. One by one, the Empire ships vanished. Some were lost to spatial anomalies, others to unseen defenses, and some simply ceased to exist, leaving no trace behind. Captain Lorene stared at the empty void where the Supercarrier had been. Her pride, her confidence, her belief in the Empire's superiority, it all crumbled. She whispered, almost to herself, What have we unleashed? Deep in space, the human Supercarrier continued its journey. It was silent, massive, and unstoppable. For decades, Earth had been preparing for this moment, and now, the galaxy was about to learn the cost of underestimating humanity. And somewhere in the shadows of uncharted space, the Empire fleet followed, blind, confused, and terrified, into the unknown, unaware that they were being led into a trap of Earth's design. The unexpected turning point had arrived. The game had begun, and for the first time in galactic history, the humans held all the cards. The Empire fleet was in chaos. Ships that had been so confident just hours ago now floated helplessly, their sensors failing, engines misfiring. Captain Lorene tried desperately to regroup what remained of her forces, but the humans were nowhere to be seen. It was as if the Supercarrier had vanished into thin air. Where are they? Lorene shouted, pacing the bridge of her flagship. Every system is failing. Communications are down with 3 frigates. What kind of humans are these? Her first officer, a sharp-eyed veteran named Kohler, scanned the flickering displays. Captain, I don't think we are following them. I think they are leading us somewhere. Lorene froze. Leading us? What do you mean? They know exactly where we are, Kohler explained. Every time we think we are closing in, we're falling into traps. Sensor anomalies, gravity distortions. I've never seen anything like this. It's too precise to be random. The fleet moved cautiously, entering a sector of space uncharted in Empire records. Stars looked different here, colors shifting strangely. Space itself seemed wrong. Sensors went haywire, as if reality itself were bending. Suddenly, one of the Empire frigates screamed over the comms. Voice panicked. "Captain, something's out there. We're losing control of the engines. Systems failing." Then silence. Another ship tried to maneuver around a glowing nebula, but it disappeared. Its crew vanished, leaving no wreckage, no signal, nothing. Panic rippled through the fleet. The humans were playing with them, and Lorene knew it. "For a defensive perimeter," she shouted. "Do not split. Stick together." But sticking together was impossible. Every warp jump, every turn, led them into more anomalies. Ships that tried to follow the Supercarrier one by one began reporting strange illusions. Duplicate ships, phantom signals, enemy weapons firing from nowhere. On board the human Supercarrier, Commander Riker watched calmly. The humans were as precise as a scalpel, guiding the Empire fleet like pawns on a galactic chessboard. "Keep them guessing," Riker said quietly to his first officer. "Let them think they are in control. Let them follow their own fears." Decoys were deployed, small, invisible drones that emitted false energy signatures. The Empire fleet fired on them, thinking they had found the Supercarrier. Each blast did nothing. It only revealed how desperate they had become. Hours passed. The Empire fleet was exhausted. Crews whispered about hallucinations, strange voices over communications, ships vanishing and reappearing in impossible positions. Even Captain Lorene felt a creeping dread. "They are not just hiding," she said softly to Kohler. "They are hunting us." In a distant sector, the humans had created a trap, a cloud of dark matter that bent light and twisted sensors. The Empire fleet entered unknowingly. Within seconds, navigation systems went haywire. Ships spun, engines overloaded, alarms blaring. A frigate attempted to jump, but emerged alone in empty space. It was lost. "Report." Lorene yelled, gripping the console. "Where's Lieutenant Voss? Where's the Targan-class frigate?" The communications officer shook his head. "No signal, Captain. It's gone." The realization hit the fleet hard. Humans were not just defending. They were shaping the battlefield. Every move the Empire made was anticipated, countered, or twisted into a trap. Kohler leaned over a console, studying the patterns. "Captain, I think they are teaching us a lesson. They want us to see what happens when we underestimate them. Every disappearance, every anomaly, it is intentional." Lorene's face hardened. "Then we have no choice but to follow. We have to know what they are. We cannot retreat, not yet." The remaining ships continued their chase, but each jump into unknown space increased attention. Some pilots reported seeing strange lights that had no source. Others claimed to hear faint mechanical whispers in their comms. Lorene tried to maintain control, but fear was spreading like wildfire. Suddenly, the fleet emerged near a massive asteroid field. It was unlike any known in Empire charts. Giant rock formations twisted in impossible geometries. Sensors failed again. Engines struggled to navigate. One by one, ships collided with invisible forces. Hulls tearing, crew screaming. Lorene barely held on to the controls. We cannot continue like this. They are destroying us without firing a single shot." And they were. The humans were masters of deception. Using gravitational manipulation, stealth cloaking, and holographic projections, the Supercarrier could appear anywhere, everywhere, and nowhere at once. Every attempt by the Empire fleet to gain advantage ended in failure. Inside the Supercarrier, Riker walked along the command deck, observing the holographic simulations of the Empire fleet. Each ship, each maneuver, predicted and accounted for. "Patience," he said. "They will break themselves." Humans never fight blindly. They fight smart. Back in the fleet, panic escalated. Some ships tried to break formation, hoping to escape the traps. Others attempted risky jumps. But each action only led them deeper into humans' calculated chaos. Then, a sudden pulse of energy erupted from the Supercarrier. Sensors went dead, engines failed, and ships spun uncontrollably. One frigate collided with an asteroid. Another drifted into a gravity well. Communications were lost. The remaining ships could only watch helplessly as the humans' ghostly vessel vanished once more. Lorene's hand shook on the controls. What are they? How is this possible? Kohler whispered, staring at the blank displays. They are beyond anything we have encountered. Human technology or something else entirely. Time seemed to stretch. Minutes felt like hours. Each ship that survived was now desperate, fearful, and confused. The Empire's confidence was gone, replaced by dread. The Supercarrier appeared again, silently, just far enough to remain untouchable. Its hull reflected the stars like a living shadow. Humans move inside with calm precision, their mission simple. Survive, observe, and teach. Captain, they are controlling everything we do, Kohler said, voice trembling. Every move we make, it's predicted, manipulated. We are in their hands. Lorene's jaw tightened. Then we must learn from this, survive, and report. Humanity, they are not what we thought. But the humans were not stopping. With each calculated maneuver, more of the Empire fleet vanished. Ships that entered the nebula or the dark matter fields never returned. Some reported seeing strange, unexplainable objects. Floating geometries, glowing orbs, things that defied physics. Panic became terror. Riker watched calmly. Let them see the impossible. Let them fear what they cannot understand. This is a turning point. From here, they will never underestimate humanity again. The remaining ships attempted one final coordinated jump, hoping to flank the Supercarrier. But the humans had anticipated it. Hidden gravity wells pulled ships off course. Energy pulses scrambled engines, and illusions led them straight into dead zones where no sensors could reach. One by one, the Empire ships disappeared. The few that survived were exhausted, systems damaged, morale shattered. Lorene realized a horrifying truth. They were no longer in control. Every step had been a trap, every move predicted, every hope crushed. Finally, silence. The Supercarrier vanished into the void, leaving only empty space and a few scattered, crippled Empire ships. Captain Lorene sat in stunned silence. This cannot be real. How did they do this? Kohler placed a hand on her shoulder. They are not just human ships, Captain. They are humans, and they are far more dangerous than we ever imagined. Deep in uncharted space, the human Supercarrier continued its journey. It moved with purpose, unseen, untouchable, and unstoppable. The galaxy would soon learn that underestimating humanity was the gravest mistake any civilization could make. And the Empire fleet? They were lost, confused, and terrified. They had entered the humans' game, and the humans had already won. The chase into unknown space had only just begun. The Empire's fleet was broken, but not defeated. At least, not yet. Captain Lorene stared at the blinking consoles, sweat trickling down her face. Her pride, her confidence, her belief in the Empire's superiority, all of it was gone. Yet, she refused to surrender. Not now. We underestimated them, she whispered, more to herself than to anyone else. We thought humans were weak. We thought they were primitive. We were wrong. Kohler, her first officer, nodded grimly. They're not just hiding, Captain. They're controlling the battlefield. Every move we make, they predicted it before we even think of it. Lorene's fist clenched. Then we fight smart. We find them. We take them down before they destroy the rest of the fleet. But no one knew how. The remaining Empire ships limped through uncharted space, desperately trying to track the humans. Every sensor reading was a lie. Every signal was a trap. Some ships reported seeing the Supercarrier reflected in 100 places at once, while others claimed it was right behind them. Though when they turned, it was gone. One young lieutenant spoke up nervously. Captain, maybe we should retreat. Maybe we should go back. Lorene turned sharply. Retreat? After everything we've lost? We cannot retreat. Not now. Humans have led us this far, and we will find out why. The humans, aboard their hidden Supercarrier, watched silently. Commander Riker walked down the command deck, hands clasped behind his back. They are predictable, he said calmly. They believe in strength, in firepower, in brute force. That is their mistake. He gestured to the tactical officer. Prepare the next phase. Let them believe they are in control. Let them make the next mistake themselves. And the Empire fleet, tired, terrified, but determined, moved forward. They entered a strange sector filled with massive asteroid fields, energy clouds, and gravitational anomalies. Sensors flickered. Engines groaned. Every attempt to maintain formation failed. Ships collided, narrowly escaping destruction. The humans had designed this space to be a trap, and the Empire was walking right into it. "Captain," Kohler said, eyes wide, "we're entering a region we can't chart. Energy readings are off the scale. Gravity, it's not natural. Something is here and it's powerful." Lorene's voice was steady, but her mind raced. "Hold position. Keep shields up. Everyone, stay alert. We will not make another mistake." But it was too late. A sudden pulse of energy washed over the fleet. Sensors went dead. Engines sputtered. Ships spun uncontrollably in the void. Panic erupted. The humans had not fired a single shot, yet the Empire's ships were crippled. What is this?" Lorene shouted, gripping her console. We're being disabled without weapons." Kohler's face was pale. "It's their technology. It's beyond anything we've encountered. They don't even need to fight us directly. They control the battlefield itself." Meanwhile, Riker watched the Empire fleet through advanced sensors. Each ship, each maneuver, was visible to him as if the humans had eyes everywhere. "Let them panic," he said softly. "Every moment of fear brings them closer to themselves. Fear is the greatest weapon of all." Empire pilots struggled desperately to regain control. Some attempted risky warp jumps, hoping to escape the trap. Others tried to flank what they believed was the Supercarrier. But every action played into the humans' plan. Holographic decoys, hidden energy fields, and gravity distortions made the Empire ships collide with each other or vanish entirely. "Captain," one officer cried, "the Targon-class frigate, she's gone. Sensors show nothing. No wreckage. Nothing." Lorene's stomach dropped. "Another one?" she whispered, voice trembling. She had lost track of how many ships had vanished. She knew the number, and the thought made her chest tighten. The humans were patient hunters. They did not need to destroy immediately. They needed the Empire to make mistakes, to reveal themselves, to panic. And the Empire was doing exactly what Riker had expected. "Sir," Kohler said, pointing at the display, "the fleet is scattering. Engines failing. Communications are down. We're not in control anymore." Lorene gritted her teeth. "Then we fight smart. We fight with our minds, not just our weapons." But fighting with their minds was harder than anything she had imagined. Every path seemed to lead to failure. Every action played into the humans' hands. Ships that tried to escape ended up in dead zones. Regions where no sensors worked, where gravity twisted in impossible ways, and where energy readings defied physics. Suddenly, one of the Empire cruisers attempted a desperate attack on a shadowy object that appeared in front of it. Weapons fired, only to hit nothing. The object split into dozens of identical images, each firing back with invisible energy pulses that disabled systems before the hull even felt a scratch. "Impossible!" Lorene screamed. They are ghosts." "They're not ghosts," Kohler said quietly. "They are humans, and they are far smarter than we ever imagined." The fleet continued, desperate and terrified. One by one, ships fell into traps, energy anomalies, or simply disappeared. The humans did not attack directly. They did not need to. Their mere presence, their understanding of space and physics, was enough to control the Empire fleet. On board the Supercarrier, Riker smiled faintly. "They think they can fight us. They think they can survive this. Let them believe in their power. Let them believe in their fleet. That is a mistake that will cost them everything." Another pulse of energy rippled through the Empire fleet. Systems overloaded. Engines failed. Communications flickered in and out. Panic spread. Ships turned on each other in confusion. Some attempted to flee, only to vanish in the void. Lorene's hands shook on the controls. This cannot be human technology. It's too clever, too powerful. Kohler whispered, voice trembling. "They are not just fighting us, they are teaching us a lesson. Every trap, every disappearance, it is intentional. They want us to see our own weakness." And the humans were not done. Decoys appeared, creating hundreds of false images of the supercarrier. The Empire fleet fired wildly, wasting their ammunition and exposing themselves to the humans' subtle manipulations. Ships collided with hidden obstacles, drifted into gravitational traps, or were disabled by unseen energy fields. Lorraine's voice cracked. We cannot win, we cannot even touch them. They are everywhere and nowhere. Riker's eyes glimmered as he observed the chaos. Let them see what they cannot fight. Let them fear what they cannot control. This is a turning point. From here, they will never forget humanity. Time stretched. The Empire fleet was a broken shadow of its former power. Frightened, exhausted, and desperate, the remaining ships struggled to survive. Every attempt to regain control ended in failure. Every plan backfired. Finally, the humans revealed a subtle hint of their true power, a visible pulse of energy that illuminated the void, showing the Empire fleet just how outmatched they were. Even the strongest ships were damaged, systems failing, crews shaken. The humans had not fired a single direct shot, and yet the Empire fleet was shattered. Captain Lorraine stared at the faint image of the supercarrier, glowing against the dark void. Her voice was barely a whisper. We underestimated them, and it cost us everything. Kohler placed a hand on her shoulder. They are not just ships, Captain. They are humans. And humans, they are nothing like we imagined. The chase had reached its climax. The Empire fleet was scattered, confused, and terrified. Only a handful of ships remained operational. Lorraine knew the humans had won this phase of the battle. They had turned every advantage into a trap, every tactic into a lesson, and every moment of confidence into fear. The humans, aboard their supercarrier, moved silently, invisibly unstoppable. They had proven one thing. The Empire could not underestimate Earth. Humanity was far stronger, far smarter, and far more dangerous than anyone in the galaxy had imagined. And somewhere in the darkness, the supercarrier continued its path, leading the Empire into an unknown region of space, deeper into traps, anomalies, and the humans' calculated plan. The Empire's mistake was clear. They had assumed superiority. They had assumed humans were weak. They had assumed victory was certain. And for that mistake, they were paying the price. The galaxy was about to learn a new truth. Humanity was not just a player. It was a master. And the final move was still to come. The void of space was silent. Too silent. Only a handful of Empire ships remained operational, their hulls scorched, shields weak, and crews trembling. Captain Lorraine stared at the blank expanse before her, knowing full well that something was coming. Something she could not see, could not predict, and could not hope to fight. Status report, she demanded, voice tense. Where's the rest of the fleet? Kohler, her first officer, shook his head. Gone, Captain. All except the ships in front of us. The rest vanished. Communications dead. Sensors useless. It's as if space itself swallowed them. Lorraine felt a cold weight settle in her chest. They've trapped us, haven't they? In the distance, a faint shimmer appeared, almost invisible against the backdrop of stars. It was subtle, like heat rising from the surface of a planet, yet it sent shivers down the spines of every officer aboard the flagship. They're here, Kohler whispered. And they were. The human supercarrier emerged from stealth, massive, imposing, and completely unstoppable. Its hull gleamed like liquid metal under the distant starlight. Energy rippled along its surface in patterns that no Empire scientist could explain. The humans had revealed themselves, not for battle, but for warning. Commander Riker stood calmly on the command deck, hands behind his back. Observe them, he said to his crew. Let them see what they underestimated. Let them realize the consequences of arrogance. The remaining Empire ships scrambled, attempting to form a defensive perimeter. Lasers fired, missiles launched, but the supercarrier moved with impossible speed and precision. No weapon touched it. Every attack passed through invisible shields or was deflected effortlessly. Lorraine's voice was shaking. All weapons, nothing, it's invulnerable. Kohler looked at the displays. It's not just weapons. It's every system. Shields, engines, sensors, everything. They've mastered technology beyond our understanding. The humans activated a subtle energy pulse, not enough to destroy the remaining ships, but enough to demonstrate control. Engines faltered, weapons jammed, communications failed. The Empire fleet, for first time, felt completely powerless. And then the humans revealed their true cunning. The Supercarrier split into multiple holographic images. Dozens of identical ships appeared, each moving independently, firing energy pulses and creating illusions of overwhelming force. The Empire fleet panicked, firing wildly at shadows, colliding with one another in confusion. "They're multiplying," one officer screamed. "How is this possible?" "They aren't multiplying," Lorene said, voice tight. "They're manipulating everything we see, controlling our senses. We cannot trust our eyes, our instruments, nothing." Riker observed silently, noting every panic, every hesitation, every mistake. The humans had set the stage perfectly. They had allowed the Empire to believe it had options, only to reveal that every choice had already been anticipated. The remaining ships attempted desperate maneuvers. Some tried to jump out of the sector, hoping to escape the humans' trap. Others attempted flanking attacks, trying to find a weakness. But it was impossible. Gravity wells, hidden energy fields, and precise manipulations of space itself ensured that every move failed. One by one, Empire ships vanished. Some collided with unseen obstacles. Others were pulled into invisible vortices and disappeared entirely. Panic turned to terror. Crews whispered, prayed, screamed, and then vanished. Captain Lorene tried one last desperate maneuver. All remaining engines, full power, warp coordinates, set to exit sector. The ship shuddered as engines fired. Systems glitched. The stars stretched into lines as the ship entered warp, only to emerge in the same place it started. The humans had trapped them not in space, but in perception itself. "They control everything," Kohler muttered. "They control space, time, perception. We are trapped in their hands." And then the Supercarrier revealed its final display. Energy arcs erupted along its hull, projecting massive holographic images of planets, stars, and entire fleets collapsing. It was a demonstration, not an attack, a message. Humans were not merely defending Earth. They were asserting dominance. Every Empire crew member understood this, though few could comprehend the full extent. Humanity had evolved not just in technology, but in strategy, precision, and cunning. Lorene slumped in her chair. This is unprecedented. They are unstoppable. Riker's calm voice broadcast across the remnants of the Empire's communications. Though the humans did not speak directly, their systems allowed the message to echo in the minds of all who could receive it. Do not underestimate humanity. We are patient. We are precise. We are everywhere and nowhere. Your arrogance has cost you dearly. The remaining ships trembled. Some tried to respond with defiance, firing blindly, but each attempt failed. Systems overloaded. Engines failed. Shields collapsed. The humans did not need to fight. They had already won. In a final, silent move, the Supercarrier activated a cloaking pulse, disappearing once more. No sensors could detect it. No readings remained. Only emptiness and a few crippled Empire ships left to bear witness to humans' power. Captain Lorene stared into the darkness. They are gone, but not gone. They're everywhere. Kohler nodded, voice trembling. "We have seen them, and we have learned the galaxy has underestimated humanity." On board the Supercarrier, Riker allowed himself a faint smile. The humans had completed the operation flawlessly. The Empire had been tested, manipulated, and taught a lesson. Their arrogance had been their downfall. "Return to Earth," Riker commanded. "Prepare for the next phase. The galaxy is watching, but they will never predict what comes next." Back in the Empire fleet, the remaining ships limped away, broken, scared, and shaken to their core. They had survived, but only barely. And the lesson was clear. Humans were not just another species in the galaxy. They were a force of unimaginable cunning, advanced technology, and relentless strategy. The humans had vanished, leaving only the memory of their presence, the destruction of the Empire's pride, and the fear of what could come. And deep in the shadows of the void, the galaxy waited for the next move of Earth's hidden Supercarrier. For the first time, the galaxy understood that underestimating humanity was not just a mistake. It was a death sentence. The chase was over. But the war had only just begun.